we'd get anywhere from kind of 10 to 15 really highly qualified leads, most events that I speak at.
Right.
And of those, there's probably 4 that are more than likely to convert, whether it's immediately or whether it's further down the track, but those results speak for themselves.
So joining me today on the line is Ashleigh Alsadie from the Promodonna. Welcome, Ash.
Welcome. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. Look, I suppose today was really, you're probably one of our longest standing partners that has been working with us right through from, goodness knows, I think it's maybe 6 years, 5-6 years.
It would be.
Yeah. And I suppose the program's evolved a lot, and I thought who better to explain the outside person looking in than someone who's watched it from almost its inception. So maybe give us a bit of a sense about who you are, what you do.
Yeah, fantastic. So Ashleigh Alsadie is my name. I am better known as the cold calling queen by many, as you know, David, because I'm that rare and crazy person that loves doing the sales grunt work that most avoid or don't have time for. And I run 2 businesses because of that. So, my passion has led me to develop a lead generation or a cold calling agency that's been running for 10 years now. So we do all that, again, grunt work to create sales leads and sales appointments. And I also have a passion for training people. So I do a lot of coaching and training around cold calling and selling as well.
Yeah, fantastic. So let's go back to 6 years ago.
Yes.
And we had a conversation about potentially running these events together. What was the problem that we were looking at solving for you at that point in time?
Great question. So look, I think the key driver for me, I was obviously, looking for new ways of establishing myself as an expert in my field. That would be number one.
Yeah.
But I'm also, being that, I specialize in lead gen when it comes to cold calling, I'm such a big believer in having multiple streams of lead gen kind of funneling into my business because, I know from experience when a company utilizes us, if they've got no other methods, no other strategies for, creating leads, kind of alarm bells, because I go, we're going to be the only source, you need to have your fingers in many pies, so to speak. So that was it for me, I was thinking, we do our own cold calling. We've got a few other, maybe social media strategies. How else can we generate great leads with our ideal clients? And so, yes, this would establish me as a great speaker and an expert, but also funnel new leads and create brand awareness.
Yeah, fantastic. Because you touched on 2 key elements, haven't you? The whole authority thing, which some people are scared to death of getting in front of a camera or getting in front of a stage. But then when they do it, they realize that it's worth the stress because it changes the dynamics of the relationship with the prospect.
Yes.
And then the other one you touched on was literally top of funnel stuff, which is just generating new contacts through a warm introduction and saying, well, there's an expert at the front that I've never met before, but she knows her stuff around sales. So entering into a relationship from the start.
Yeah. 100%. That's right. And yeah, I think I'm a big believer in kind of repurposing content as well. So I saw that as another advantage was, I'm going to be speaking to all these people and, you guys are fantastic in creating, marketing to support that. So, we always have posts or video content to put out to people. And I love that I can utilize that on my social media as well, just as some, icing on the cake. So,
So obviously we're having this conversation because not only did you do it once, but you keep coming back for more.
I think I've done about 20 events now, David. It would be probably more.
Yeah, which is, I suppose, nice from the point of view of obviously it works, but it's sort of more the curiosity. So what does it do? So what's been the result of doing these events and can you quantify it?
Yeah, wow. So I think, look, I am always a raving fan of these events. This is why I keep doing them.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of things or a couple of reasons why that is. So the first is I've always loved the structure and the approach that you guys take to it because I've been a speaker for many other organizations or, at different events, but there is never the same approach in the sense that, first and foremost, you make sure that you've got people's ideal clients or target market sitting in the room. You also have such a great follow-up process. So it's quite often that, me as a speaker, I'll do an event, but then I hear nothing after. I don't get the ability to reach out to those people again. I don't get the ability to make an offer of sorts and to ultimately, start building my database with new people, new contacts. So that would be the first, reason is that there's such a great structure and approach. And then the other thing is, it just creates results. Like, that's the bottom line. So I think, I've done the maths over the years that in general, we usually get, we'd get anywhere from kind of 10 to 15 really highly qualified leads, most events that I speak at. And of those, there's probably 4 that are more than likely to convert, whether it's immediately or whether it's further down the track. But those results speak for themselves. So that's why I keep doing it.
Okay. So if we were to bring it down to brass tacks and dollars, what sort of return would you see on an event?
Wow. So I think, again, looking at it, if you've got those 4, prospects that more than likely convert, most of those at a minimum would be probably spending with us around, it would probably be maybe about 10K as a minimum, that is. So, we're making anywhere from like 10 to 40K, for that initial investment that we're making.
Yeah, that's per person that converts. So out of that is 4. What would be the conversion from the 4?
I'm saying that 4 is usually the conversion of like the 15 leads.
Gotcha. Okay, so those 4 come on board. And each one of those is worth 10 to 40K?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Wow. So what we're talking about is somewhere between 40 and 160,000.
Yeah. So it's a no-brainer, right?
Well, it is to you, and that's why you keep coming back. But I think a lot of people, when they hear about this, it sounds too good to be true. They're not really sure. I often encourage them just to do one. And people go, well, why would you do all that? And why would you do that for other people? And it's obviously a win-win scenario because I'm a big synergy, a believer in, everyone works together, we get a result for everybody.
Yes.
So it sounds like you've got the tattoo. And
I was going to say, obviously, David, we've gone through a process of kind of evolution together, which I'm sure you were probably going to touch on next. That, when we kick-started the events, we were doing it in this face-to-face setting. But I really enjoyed this process of evolution as I'm talking about, because I think for people that are out there thinking, would this work for my business now? Because it's very virtual, it's an online world now. Are you getting the same results, Ash, as what you used to get? And the simple answer is yes, because I think this is another way that you and your business can adapt to what's happening in the world today. So,
And look, personally, I think we're getting better results because the money we used to spend on feeding people is being funneled into marketing and getting more people. But the other side effect is diversity. So we can go further because there's no travel constraints anymore.
Exactly. Well, we're going global, aren't we? So that's really exciting.
Yes, we are. And even this recording is going global. So I suppose the point is it's an idea that started 6-7 years ago, and it's evolved and evolved and evolved. And now it's become quite a strategic piece of your marketing strategy almost permanently. What are the other side benefits? So other than obviously getting new clients out of this and being on stage and getting all this content, do you see any other benefits of continuing with this type of thing?
I would say there's a couple. The first is definitely that exposure side of things. So I said that, we do the marketing and, I like to kind of repurpose the content.
Yes.
That gives me exposure to other networks and other people that maybe I wouldn't have. And also, just further gives me credibility as a speaker. You know, people would say, oh, she's regularly speaking for this global event now. You know, this is someone that we want to, you know, bring on board with us.
Yeah.
And the other thing about, you know, people bringing me on board, you know this, David, that obviously what we're creating are those immediate leads at times, or, you know, people that will convert.
Yeah.
But also it's such a great opportunity for the people involved to nurture people in your pipeline who are hot but hesitant. And so what I mean by this is, you know, and you know this, we had a recent event where I invited someone along who I'd written a proposal for. They seemed really keen, but they hadn't converted yet. And straight after the event, so this person came along, watched me do my thing. Straight after the event, she emailed me and said, hey, we want to get going. So it was just like a further, you know, reinforcement of why they should work with me. So that's another reason that people can utilize it for that reason as well.
Yeah. So to me, what you just described is the synergy effect, where you're saying I've got multiple marketing strategies, but they actually support each other and they make it easier to sell, because if someone's not ready, I can bring them to this next event. They see that I'm always doing them, so I'm authority, and it just makes it easier to convert, because now people see us as a key player.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, I think we've covered most bases. Is there anything else that you think we need to inform people about?
No, I just, you know, I'm a raving fan. So I think, you know, the results speak for themselves.
Yeah.
If anyone is a bit of a fence sitter about it, I would definitely say, as you suggested, David, just to do one and try it out, because, you know, worst case scenario, if you don't get, you know, immediate conversions, you will certainly have a warm pipeline that you wouldn't have previously had access to. So it's a great lead generation source for sure.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, Ash, look, thanks so much for tuning in and just giving us a bit of insight. I appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you so much.